Hi everybody, Emma here. Today we're going to look at Warrior One and we're going to practice it in 4 different ways. In yoga there's loads of ways that you can practice Warrior One and arrive at it in your practice. And these are just 4 of the ways. There's many more ways that you could do it, but these 4 are the most frequent in my own practice. So I thought I would share them with you in this short practice. Let's start lying down. We'll just do a recline twist to get us ready, and then the rest of the class would be just a short flow based around Sun Salutation A, where we can get into all of these different variations. So let's come down and straighten your left leg along the mat and bring your right knee into the body. And first of all, let's give the knee a hug to the chest. Keep your left toes pointing up, and let's rotate the right ankle a few times. So go a few times in each direction. The back ankle in Warrior One is quite a challenge sometimes. That angle and keeping the outside edge of the foot down on the mat sometimes needs a little bit of concentration, a bit of work, and a little bit of patience too. Let's give the foot a point, or 2 types of flexion rather, plantar, dorsi. Do a few of those. Okay, where's that twist you promised, Emma? Here it is. Let's hold the right knee in the left hand. Take your right arm out, and then bring your knee over to the left side, keeping your right shoulder towards the mat. Let your hip come up. You can keep your gaze to the ceiling, or you can turn to the right. I'll stay here for 3 more breaths. Okay, next inhale, let's come back into the center. Bring your left knee in as well. Let's hug both knees to the chest, and then we'll change to the other side. So straighten your right leg along the mat, toes to the ceiling. Hug the left knee in. And start off with some rotations in your ankle. Do an equal number in each direction. I'm recording this video of Warrior One on the hottest day of the year so far, which is a bit of a bonkers thing to do. But there you go. Okay, let's give a point and a flex at the ankle. Point and flex. They're both flexions. But you know what I mean, pointing, dorsiflexion. All right, let's bring both knees in. So right knee joins the left. And the next pose is going to be chair pose. If you're feeling really confident, you could roll up and land in chair pose. I might even give it a try, see what happens. Okay, not too bad. Join me when you're ready in a chair pose. So sending the seat bones down, arms up, pointing the fingers away from the shoulders, belly in, neutral pelvis, neutral spine. 2 more breaths. Let's exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, step back into a plank. Shoulders over wrists, knees down, and exhale, elbows back, lower the chest to the mat. Untuck your toes and inhale, push up into baby cobra. And then downward facing dog. Find your way back and stay for 5 breaths. Spread out your fingers. Push firmly down into your hands. Send your shoulders and your hips away from the mat. Soften the knees if you need to. Belly in. Don't worry if the heels don't land on the mat. That's not important. Focus on lengthening your spine. Stay for another 2. And then gaze to your hands and walk your feet or jump your feet forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And take a forward fold with a good bend in your knees. And then inhale, and let's go back to chair. That's how we started. This modified salutation. And exhale into mountain. So just a little bit warm. Okay, so the first entry that we're going to practice into Warrior One is to simply step in from mountain pose or samasthithi at the top of your mat. So bring your feet into your own preferred position for mountain pose, equal standing. And then we'll leave the right foot where it is, and we'll take a step back with the left foot. So remember, the length you step back is approximately the length of one of your own legs. Okay, so for me, that's not far. If you're tall, it might be quite a long way. And just have a look at your heels. Are they in line? That's probably our optimum place to have the heels. If you want to challenge yourself, take your back arch in line with your heel. If it feels uncomfortable on the hips, go a bit wider. Don't stress that. Choose what's right for you. Align the right hip gently back. Push down firmly into your back foot and sink into the front knee. But when you get there, imagine that you're trying to pull your leg bone back into your hip socket. Okay, so push down firmly into your back foot so you have a straight and strong back leg. And then either bring your hands to your heart center or reach your arms all the way up overhead. Let's stay for 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. And a final round of breath. On your next inhalation, step your left foot forward and exhale back to mountain pose. Okay, let's do the other side. So find your equal standing pose, weight to the left foot, take your big step back. Take a moment to find your alignment. Push down into your back foot. The pushing down into the back foot, as well as straightening into the leg, can help you with that alignment of hips towards the short edge of the mat. But remember, we don't want to force that, and we don't want to twist the back knee, yeah? So it's a balance between using that connection and not overdoing it in the knee. Sink into your front knee, but also think about pulling the leg bone back. Okay, then we'll either add a prayer at the center of the chest, or take your arms all the way up and overhead. For this one, we're keeping the gaze forward. Another 2 deep breaths. A final round of breath. And then on an inhalation, step to the top of the mat with your right foot. Exhale, mountain pose, samasthithi. Okay, so that's our first time with Warrior One. The second round, we're going to get into it from 3-legged dog. Okay, so let's flow to downward facing dog. Mountain pose and extended mountain pose. Gaze to your palms. Forward fold, come down, hands to mat, bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, halfway lift. And let's go to plank. Breathe in plank. Knees down, elbows back, lower to the mat. Untuck the chest, untuck the toes, lift the chest. Let's head to down dog. Okay, good. So from your dog, we're going to take the right leg up to 3-legged dog. So you can have a closed hip position here, hip to the mat. Maybe come onto your left toes, knee towards the chest, shoulders forward. Step your right foot through, help it if necessary, and then drop the left heel to the mat. Push down into the floor and come up. Arms overhead. Okay, so never forget that Warrior One is a balancing pose. Okay, now think about your alignment. On this side, we'll gently draw the right hip back. Soften the shoulders down. Strong and straight in the back legs. We don't want to droop into the knee. Have 1 more breath in. And then what I usually like to do is just to spin my back toes. And so coming into a high lunge. And then let's go to 3-legged dog. Let's take the right leg all the way up and back. And back to downward facing dog. Let's just hang out in downward facing dog for a couple of breaths. So just reset, belly in. And let's get ready to do the other side. So left leg up and back. And then shoulders forward, step your left foot between your hands, drop your right heel down, find your alignment, sink into your front knee, push down strongly in the back foot, left hip back, right hip's drawing slightly forward. Add in your hands or add in your arms. Okay, let's stay for another 3 deep breaths. And 2. And last breath in. Exhale, I spin onto my toes at the back. Hand to mat. Let's go to 3-legged dog. Inhale. And exhale. Downward facing dog. Let's hold this downward facing dog for 3. Final round. And then gaze to your hands, walk or maybe hop forward. Lift halfway, breathe in. Soften the knees, fold down. Inhale, reach up all the way. Palms together. And mountain pose. Breathe out. Okay, 2, check. Third one, we're going to come back to down dog and we're going to get into warrior one from downward facing dog, but without using 3-legged dog. So this would be your traditional entry into warrior one if you're doing sun salutation B. Why don't we do sun salutation B? Okay, so let's do sun salutation B. Just add in a couple of chairs. Okay, so let's bend the knees, send the seat bones back, reach up the arms. Exhale, fold to the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step into plank. And from plank, either stick with knees, chest, chin, or maybe chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And downward facing dog, go back. Okay, so in sun salutation B, we go straight in to warrior one. So step your right foot forward, drop your left heel down, breathe in and come up. I'm going to take my hands into a prayer this time and gaze up my thumbs, but you can stick with any other variation that you've been doing. Let's hold for 3. Keep the right hip drawing back. 2. Last round of breath. Exhale, hands to mat, plank. Let's go back. Okay, take your flow however you want to. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. No break, we go straight to left side, left foot forward, right heel down, sink into your front knee, push into your back foot, find your hand or arm position, and keep it strong in your foundations. So warrior one, you're very much in the lower body working with your Muladhara chakra, your root chakra. Last 2 breaths. And let's bring the hands to the mat. Plank, let's go back. Plank to the mat. Upward facing or cobra, breathe in, chest forward. Down dog. And 5 breaths in down dog. And now, let's gaze to the hands, walk or hop forward, halfway lift, and forward fold. Chair pose, nearly forgot. And mountain pose, samasthithi. Okay, good. So that's our third way of getting in, straight from downward facing dog without a three-legged dog. Last option for today, we'll have a look, a practice of a traditional way to get into Warrior One. So we'll step out, do it to the back of the mat, and then come back and do it to the front. Okay, so start in your mountain, and then we're going to take an inhale, a big step out and back. Okay, so we're going to step out and back. Warrior One. And let's stay for another 4. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to spin it all the way around, back to the other side of the mat. Warrior One. 3, 2, 1. Gazing forward, top of the mat. Exhale, mountain pose. How did you get on? So, 4 different ways of getting in to Virabhadrasana A, Warrior One. My suggestion now is that you take a little moment to just let all that settle in the body. So maybe lie down and take constructive rest, or classical Shavasana position, or you could even come back and do another twist like we did at the start.